In today's video, we're going to check out the brand new Soundcore Boom 2 Plus portable speaker. This has a lot of updates from previous generations, and from what it offers us right now, from the customizable RGB lights that we have on both sides of the speaker, the ability of connecting to two different devices, but not only that, the amount of bass that we have on this device is crazy. We're talking up to 140 watts. That's basically 40 watts over the last generation, so that's 40% increase there. But does it actually stack up to all of the hype that we've seen on paper? Let's go ahead and check it out, and let me share with you guys my experience with the brand new Boom 2 Plus from Soundcore. Like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified whenever we have new videos on the channel. First and foremost, we're going to talk about some of the features that we have in here. We have a booming 140 watt. This is basically the amount of bass that they've upgraded from last generation, and that basically about a 40 watt increase on performance, so you're not going to be disappointed. Bass Up 2.0 technology is going to give us the ability of performing between high level of bass and low level of bass, and the ability of switching between one and the other by just pressing a button. Up to 20 hours of playtime because of the battery that we have built in here. Not only that, you can actually use that battery to charge up your device. Beat Sync color lights here. This is going to be something that's really cool, like a visual virtualizer that's built in and will actually match the music you're listening to. Obviously, we have IPX7 and of course detachable strap. We're going to talk about that as well. Link Plus up to 100 plus units if you have them. Of course, we have 30 watt fast charging, the ability of using that to be able to get this actually back up and running faster. And of course, an ultra deep 40 hertz bass, and that's going to be how good the audio is going to be playing there, especially if you like to listen to tracks like me with like dance, EDM, and rock. 2x2 channel stereo here. Obviously, it's going to be the performance that we've seen before. In the bars, what's in the box? We get the speaker, we have a USB-C cable, we have a detachable strap, and of course the data sheet. It's available directly on Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Just download the application, sync up your speaker, and of course, control it with the app. Now for me, I'm using it obviously on Android, so you just go ahead and download it, install it, and pair it directly to the device. Once you pair it, add it to the application, and you're pretty much straightforward, easy to connect it. Now you notice right out there, first and foremost, you can see the battery level of the actual battery that we have in here, the ability of turning it off, and of course, we have some setting options in there and be able to actually check the firmware, update it, if you need the serial number, user manual, and of course, if you want to disconnect it. Auto power off, you can customize that. I set it to be about 5 minutes, so if you're not playing music for about 5 minutes, the speaker shuts down to conserve battery. We have button press lights, of course, clipboard permission, and of course speaker prompts in case you do need that. That's basically just letting you know when it turns on and turns off. Now, Bass Up is something that you're able to turn on and turn off on the actual app or directly on the speaker. We'll get that in a second. The ability of starting and stopping, just a little music player separate from our default music player. And of course, the equalizer section where you can go in and customize. There's some presets that you're able to jump into. Those are the ones that are pre-built in by Soundcore. And of course, you can definitely go in there and customize your preset to the way you want it. This is, again, something that we've seen before from Soundcore, and they've always delivered on that. And I love the way that they actually provide us that experience. Where we haven't seen something like this on a speaker like this before is the ability of customizing the actual colors on the speaker. You can change the brightness of the actual colors, the on and off functionality, and there is basically, you'll see them right here. So there's basically 4 on top, 4 on the bottom. There's basically the bounce, the cyclone, the scan, the energy, the rainbow, flash, and of course you have the flame and the lightning effect. And all of those are some things that you're able to basically change and move, and they actually sync to the music that you're listening to, which I really like. And if you want to be able to just turn off the lights, you could just turn them off by pressing the light there, and of course go back into the customization. Now, under the rainbow, you're actually able to customize the colors of those rainbows, you'll notice in there. And that's one of the really nice functionalities. If I jump over to Flash, I can again go back in there and change that. You're not limited by what you're actually getting there, and that's the beauty of it here. So here we have it, the speaker, the logo that we have in here, and of course we have the 250 watt woofers and 220 watts. Of course, those are the tweeters themselves. One thing I'll probably say that it is very much unique. This is an iconic look by Soundcore. On the top, we have access to the buttons. We have the play and pause, volume up, volume down, lighting effect. Of course, this is the party sync where you're able to sync it to multiple speakers. Well, I only have one of these guys right now. The bass option here to be able to turn it on and turn it off, the bass up option, Bluetooth pairing, and I do actually have it connected to 2 different devices at the same time. And of course, the power on, power off button. There are some ridges here under the handle to be able to make it easy to carry. The name, of course, Soundcore is in there, and all of this is integrated into one piece. We have strap connectors here for the included strap, the removable strap that they include in the package, making it easy to carry. And of course, they also have a little bit of a wording in here, hard to show on camera. But when you have a look at straight from the top, it's pretty straightforward, a good handle, very strong configuration, and it definitely has some weight. But again, keep in mind, you're carrying a lot of power in your hands. But these I would feel like are pretty much the sound, or basically the stars of the show, where the bass is going to be the most visually visible for us. And then of course, last but not least, is the access here. This is how you'll be able to charge it and charge from it. Now this actually is required to be flush entirely for the IPX7 to actually function correctly, and of course for you not to damage the speaker. But if you go ahead and remove it, you'll notice the gasket itself is actually pretty nice and thick in there. We have an aux in and of course USB-C. This is basically a two-way USB-C connector. You can charge from it and charge to it, and again using the 30-watt charging capabilities in there. You just have to have the compatible charger. Once you have it in there, make sure that it's all the way flush. You have the Soundcore logo in there. Sorry about the water there, but as I was doing those tests, obviously this is going to get a little bit wet. First thing we're going to start off, obviously, is we're going to take a look at those radiators and how they look when we're listening to some really good bass. I'm going to show you guys a couple of examples as I'm showing you right now. I put in some water in there, and as you can see, the water just basically starts jumping out and it's moving. And of course, none of that is actually affecting the performance, as it's actually sealed. So the water sitting in there as we're looking at this is purely for demonstration, but it looks even better when we turn off the light and it starts just showing those light effects jumping out of it. It looks absolutely fantastic. It's not going to disappoint in daylight or in obviously low light, and that's the main benefit here. You can take this with you wherever you want, and if you don't want to have the lights on, there is a specific button for that on the actual unit as well as in the app, making it very simple. But one of the other things that they said to me, which I really wasn't really believing them till I tried it out myself, of course, was the fact that this actual unit floats. That means if you are at the pool or at the beach and for some reason it drops in the water, you're not going to have to worry about this. As long as the gasket on the back is fully flush and there's no opening there, you're pretty much going to expect this unit to actually just keep floating on the top side of the water. You can grab it, put it back in, dry it up a little bit, and of course, it'll work exactly the same. But I'm pretty sure you guys want to hear how the audio performs. So we're going to do a couple of tests here. We're going to do a test indoors just to show you guys how much bass we're able to get. We're also going to do a quick test with the bass up on and bass up off, just to kind of see the difference in audio as well. Last but not least, how much does this sound when you're outdoors and there's a lot more elemental sound going on. Let's check that out. So as we always do with the audio test, we're going to be doing Jumbo NCS release. This is by Alex Scrindo, a non-copyrighted song. We're going to play it, and the speaker's sitting actually across the floor from me. So we're going to actually see how well and how much loud it's going to get when it's at 100%, using, of course, all of the bass power that we have, 140 watts. Jack it up. As you can hear there, it actually is loud enough to fill up an entire house. Jack it up. When it comes down to audio performance for bass heads, I find that Soundcore's been doing it and knocking it out of the park for many, many years now. This will not disappoint. The performance, the EQ, the tuning of this actual speaker is designed for that. It's designed to be in a space where it's a very open space so that it can fill it up. The levels that we're able to hit with the new 140 watt configuration that we have in here are crazy. It just literally sounds amazing, but it also is super loud. So if you're in a big crowd and you want to be able to basically jam to really good music with one speaker, that's going to work. And if you want to have, well, if you want to pick up a couple of them and actually connect them together, you could connect up to 100 different units together in tandem. Imagine the amount of music you're able to basically cover, or the area, with that many speakers. So at the end of the day, if you're looking for an outdoor speaker that's rugged, that sounds great, that's configurable, that has some nice LED lights and a long battery life, not only that can actually charge itself, but also charge your device, I feel like the Soundcore Boom 2 Plus speaker or portable speaker will not only deliver, it's gonna shock you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you very much for the support, and of course, I'll see you in the next video.